Thanksgiving, and we still have a little grass left. Cows are ready to go. These are some cows we're custom grazing for my dad. And I'd say we got another week and a half out here. I was hoping for 40 days. I think we're gonna be pretty close to that. But yes, cows still graze when it's cold. Growing up, I'd always feed hay. Be feeding hay probably for close to a month now, but we'll flip you around and show you these girls here. Still on green grass. You always want to get them bred on green grass. That's what Dad says. Soak! Got a couple of them cycling this morning. I'm getting ready with my fall herds. We're gonna kick out bulls here probably Friday. Usually about December 1st or weekend after Thanksgiving is what my great grandpa always used to say. I think that's about right. And you do need to breed them on green grass, so it takes a lot of planning to still have some this time of year. We're fortunate. Cows are in good condition. We got a little rain. We had a couple of them that were stepped on something. We doctored this one up, but she's getting along a lot better, so we went in and dug out some of the holes they were standing in, made them drain a little better this week. They look a lot better. So these are mostly late summer, early fall calves. These are all early fall calves. And moms are milking good, and they're loving this grass. Got quite a few weeds in here, but I think that'll just give them some shelter, especially as we're getting into the teens this week. Be good for a wind block to have all that. I can lay down in it. One side of it, get blocked. We cut hay off of this in July, I think, early July. Didn't grow back a whole lot. We didn't get much fall moisture, but we got 40 days grazing here. 30. Anyway, you guys have a good Thanksgiving. I really don't know too many people that still have green grass right now, but and don't know too many people that plan for it. So I had to read a lot of books and do some research, and finally found a few people who do. But it seems to me like my research shows that the guys up in Canada, once they start feeding and unrolling hay, when there's snow covering the ground, the cows quit digging. And they kind of say that's it for the year. Once you start feeding hay, they quit digging through the snow to eat. Now I see Greg Judy unrolling some hay, and Reject Ranch, they unroll half a bale, and then they for some grazing during the day, and then they'll graze the rest of the day. Make sure they get their bellies full and fill those requirements. And I think that probably helps to keep the rumen balanced, making sure the manure patties are about where you want them as far as protein kind of goes. But just want to show you here, this has got a lot of clover in it, so we have plenty of nutrition here. And we're letting the cows clean this up, and then we're going to start supplementing with hay, and they'll still get a lot of grazing out of this. I was kind of planning on 40 days. I don't think we're quite gonna make that. I think 30. We came off on a cold snap, and my experience, cows eat, I've heard people say as low as 2% of their body weight, but I see 5 or maybe even 6%, especially when it gets cold. The cows will just, especially if you're feeding hay, they're just staying around the bunks because they're bored. They don't have anything else to do. They're not out searching for food, so they just staying around and eat, and that keeps them warm because it keeps their rumen going. And so it makes a lot of sense. If I was a cow, I'd be doing that too, but it also gets hard on the pocketbook. So unrolling a little bit of hay and supplementing with grass, I think, is a good way to do it. Keeps them, keeps their mind thinking, keeps them entertained. Keeps that rumen balanced, and but we don't want to start feeding before we have to, in my opinion. Not saying that you don't want to leave a couple of paddocks for spring, and kind of that way they've got some drier material to match with your spring forages that get real lush, and they're passing that out the back because they can't process it. So if you leave some grass in the fall and through the winter for them to graze on, we're talking 4 to 6 inches for the first 15 to 30 days of the green lush green spring up, then that helps balance the diet the other way, because you really can't get them to eat hay. Once that grass gets tender, if they have enough room, it's much more difficult to get them to eat hay. They're just mad at you if you're I haven't really tried it too much with the rotational grazing, but I would imagine that would help as far as, you know, unrolling a little bit and then having them clean up. But this cow over here is having a, she can't figure out where the hole in the fence is. These guys haven't been rotationally grazed for very long. It's up there. I'm gonna roll it up. Just give me 5 minutes. Anyway, I just wanted to show you this. There's frost on this clover, but the cows are out here. They're eating it. They're loving it. They're enjoying it. It's got plenty of nutrition, plenty of energy. I imagine it's kind of like eating a popsicle, but they're made for this. Nobody was out here feeding the bison. Nobody was out here rolling up hay and doing all those things. And so what we want to prevent is the big kill-offs that the bison had. Obviously, that's not profitable. So we do have hay and emergency supplies and make sure we cut water for them. But as far as them being able to actually survive on grass through the winter, they can do it all year long. Last year, I went with a herd of 90,000 pounds, and we ended up feeding less than 50 bales there through the winter. Most of that, it was negative 40 degrees, and I had the water tank there, and there was 3 inches of snow on the ground. They just couldn't, you know, I'm not saying they couldn't have grazed through it, but we helped them out there. It was easier for me and easier to keep them on that one water tank and those kinds of things. So, but you know, after that hard freeze went out until I felt like their manure patties were building up, we just kept going, kept grazing, and they kept doing great, and those kinds of things. So anyway, appreciate you guys. If you learned something in this video, if you have any questions about winter grazing and those kinds of things, let me know. Like, subscribe, follow for more. We appreciate you.